Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today we're doing the myth gear setup, the best myth gear setup for level 170, free to play of course, because I don't have any Frillisaurs or Brontos, so that's what we're doing. So this is going to be just like the others, exactly like the others as it were, and yeah, don't expect too many differences between each school. If you're clicking on this video and you haven't seen the others, like, I promise it doesn't really vary that much. So let's go ahead and look over the stats. So 237 damage, so I do in fact hit the cap once I equip my mount, so that is pretty good. Decent resist, actually. They did make Myth a resist school for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, but they did. And then well over perfect accuracy. You only really need 25 as a Myth, but they seem to shovel accuracy into Myth's mouth. While for Ice, you have to like scrape and beg for accuracy, just because I guess the devs hate us. So pretty good crit. Block is actually kind of decent, and then 52 pierce, which is really solid. Like it's pretty good. Like 52 pierce. You know, tower shields mean nothing. It's kind of nice to have that happen. So pretty neat. And then yeah, everything else is just sort of as it is. So those are going to be the stats that that this setup will give you. And let's start going over the gear. So for the Fabled, for the hat and boots, rather, both of it is going to be the Fabled Dream Reaver sets. And I gotta say, these this is actually something of an upgrade compared to Eon. Maybe I should put my mount on and go down here and just show y'all what the Eon hat looks like, because this is actually, like, this is an upgrade that I think is worth getting if you're really trying to, like, I guess min-max that deal. So Dreamscape Eon Helm. This is the Eon hat from 160, so you gain a little bit of health, a little bit of block. You gain actually 1 resist, 1 pierce, and 2 damage. So it's not insane. You can definitely get by with this with Eon, but you know, Reaver is Reaver, and Reaver will get you to the stat maxes. So yeah, Dream Reaver hood, that's what you do. And then for the boots, these are marginally better than Eon. I'll be real, you don't really need to upgrade these if you don't want to, but I still do because I gain 1% damage, which puts me at the cap, and I'm not anywhere below it. So you kind of love to see that. So yeah, and then both of these pieces, the hat and boots, drop from Malice in the Nightmare Dungeon after Wallaru. So definitely do that at least like 15 times, just so that way you can get the Malice Rexus badge and be able to never have to enter that hellhole ever again, because I certainly will not. So boots and hat come from the same spot. The wand, you can actually get the Fabled Dream Reaver Boomerang also from Malice in the Nightmare, but you know, I'll talk about that in a minute. So for the robe, what I'm just using is the Mythic Robe of the Nullity. This is just what I've had forever, and it's still really, really good. The Demonic Robe, I'm not sure if it gives any more damage. It might give more pierce, just because Myth is a pierce school, but I don't know if it'll give more damage. But the Demonic Robe drops from the Polaris raid, from the personal demon boss in there, and then the Nullity Robe drops from the Nullity at the end of the Voracious Void raid. So yeah, the raids are kind of your go-to for the best robes. There is also the Forbidden Library robe that gives a robe that gives a little more resist and a little less damage, and pierce as well, I think. But that's a good robe that's a bit more defense oriented if you're into that. It's also free to play if you have the gauntlet, but you can also get it from a pack. But yeah, Nullity robe, it's like the Dragonspire and Polaris raid robes. Those are the ones that you really need to be shooting for as a Myth, and really for everybody. So yep. And then I have already gone over the boots and partially the wand. Like I said, the Fabled Dream Reaver Boomerang can drop from Malice in the Nightmare, but I personally use the Jabalba Heavenly Sword that drops from the end of the Crying Sky raid from Hoon Hao, and I highly recommend it. It's like, I haven't gone for any of the Reaver ones because I don't want to go back into the Nightmare. I just don't. And the Shads are honestly kind of nice, because if you have max level Tatzelworm Terror, you can do marginally more damage than your Orthrus at max tier. So how about that? So, yeah. Myth, I would say, is where the Shad rating matters the absolute least, so I wouldn't really sweat going for this. I wouldn't really sweat going for Shads just in general. I mean, this still gives the most damage, but this is tied with the Fabled Dreamweaver Boomerang, which does give the same amount of pierce as well as damage. Both give 10 pierce and 28 damage. So, yeah, just something to keep in mind. I personally use the Xibalba one just because I already have it, and I mean, you know, it's kind of up to y'all. It's honestly quite the upgrade from the Eon wand or the 160 Xibalba wand. So, yeah, that's just what you want to get. Pretty neat. For the Fame, definitely the Fabled Dream Reaver Knife is what you want. This drops from the Invader Fleets at the Doom Moon here in Novus, which you can access from that rocket after you finish the rest of the main Wallaru questline. So the Invader Fleets will drop you that Fame, which is pretty neat. It gives 25 damage. The Square Slocket. Dude, how many times am I going to say Slocket, bro? Okay, so it gives you a Square Slocket, and obviously the 2 circles. I use Pierce on these just because this is how I get to 52 while also being able to hit the damage cap, so that's just what I do. And yeah, you can get a lot of health, a lot of damage, a lot of Pierce. Like, what more could you ask for? So, like I said, this drops from the Invader Fleets of the Doom. For the Amulet, I rock with the Fabled Dream Reaver Amulet, and mostly what you just want is an amulet that gives a circle slocket, rather. And the Hunau amulet gives one. The Chrysanthemum amples that you can get from the what's it called? The gold key bosses from Takanobu and Lambent. They could drop circle slot amulets too, so pretty neat. But I use the Reaver amulet just because it gives me a 40 blade, which is pretty nice. That is on par with Frenzy, but it's just another blade that you can stack, so pretty neat. It's nice for questing. The Hunau amulet does give marginally more resist, but I wouldn't really sweat trying to get this. It doesn't give you the blade anyway, so I am not too worried about this, and neither should any of y'all. I just use this for PvP. So this drops from Crash the Bandicoot in the Wabagong territory in Wallaru, and that you can access that by taking Lady Cortexia's side quest from Billabong Resort. So definitely go get that, and I farm Crash a lot because I am just permanently in Crash farming hell. So that's where we're at on that. So I've probably just gotten like 1 million of these just stockpiled. I've had to feed so many to my pet. It's pain out here, but yeah. The next one up is the ring, and this is the Fabled Dream Reaver Ring. This drops from Freddy Croker out in the Dreaming, also in Wallaru. And I mean, look, 20 damage, 19 pip chance, like the Circle Slocket, you know? Like, what more can you ask for? And I should mention, this build does take 2 Unearthly Damage Parados, which also drop from Freddy Croker in the Dreaming, as well as Malice. So yeah, it is that is where the difference gets made up. So definitely worth going for these. So yeah, that's the ring. I don't really need to say more. For the pet, I have just this little Medusa that I've had forever. You'll love to see it. It gives a blade. It's kind of nice, and it's a quint damage thinking cap, I want to say, pet. You can also use Mighty if you can get that to manifest, and yeah, you know, this gives me 33 damage, so that's kind of hard to argue with, I feel like. So, yeah, this the pet matters a lot. You can definitely get a lot of damage from this. So yeah, don't really need to say much more. Just a quint damage is a quint damage. This does get me to that juicy 237 number, so kind of love to see it. For the mount, the Battle Narwhal gives you 2 damage. It's the only amount in the game that you can get for free, and by free I mean it comes at the cost of your sanity, because you will have to fish for this from the Polarian Explorer's bundle house. And the next time they run 0 energy fishing, I'll probably make a video talking about like how to go for this. But yeah, don't count on getting this in a day, I'm gonna say that much. And then for the deck, I use the Fabled Dream Reaver deck, and yeah, I mean, it's a circle slot deck. What more can you really ask for? Yeah, it's just good like that. I don't really need to say much more on it. So yeah. So you can also get this from the Doom Moon in the Engineering Dungeon, which is off to the left. If I ever can load in, that would sure be nice. Is that actually Dasein? Like a... Did he stand at me? I never even saw this. Dude, I've looked at this loading screen like so many times and I just never saw Dasein there, but yeah. So engineering is right over there on the left, and then that's where you get the deck. Through this door in the middle is where you get the Thane from the Invader Fleets. So, yep, and yep, there's Dasein again, just staring back at me with those eyes. How about it? So, yeah, I think that is going to wrap up this video. So, this is just the max damage setup that's free to play. You can probably maybe get a lot more Pierce if you make up the damage here with a Frivolous Oronto combo, but yeah, 52 Pierce and 237 damage, that is where this sort of ends out for me. So, how about it? But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more, and I will see y'all later.